Hello there everyone, this is D22 with you today from D22 Responses, and today we're going to show you how to make your own YouTube background. So we're going to get started right now. What we're going to do is we're just going to go to File and then Open, and then we're going to get a template. Now this template will be included in the description so that you can use this template as much as you can, and if the link will expire soon, I know it does usually if you have a file sharing site like this. I'll make sure to send you the template via email. So anyways, we're going to get started using the Bearz partner template. It's a PSD file, so it will open in Photoshop. Duh. Anyways, we are going to take a look at what we have with us. Now this is your standard template. Now, a YouTube background is all a matter of preference. It makes a YouTuber who he or she is. And with the right personality and the right skill, you can make a background that looks really, really awesome. So, this template is just a basis of what our background is going to look like. So, what we're going to do first, this is like a partnered template. And this applies to also a non-partnered background. So, these steps will apply as well. Now, if you are a partner, what you can do is you can change the text here to however you want. Let's say this is the channel called D22 Responses, and we can adjust the display however we want, and we can make it however font we want, and it's generally basic. So what we're going to do is we're just going to select the font that we want, like this, like this, like this looks really, really awesome. And then we can add our social media icons by importing it like this. So let's just go to our downloads, and then what we should see here is we should see social media icons, and they're all in PNG format. And so let's say I want to import, like, for example, the YouTube and the Yahoo and the PayPal if you're asking for donations. So what you do here is you select all, and then you import it as a new layer. So what you do here is you add a new layer in the folder or however, and then you can paste the icon to wherever you want. You can resize it however you want, and then it'll appear up here so that you can make image maps out of them. And that's normally how you necessarily customize your own background. And then you can just apply that, and then your customization will appear there, and then you can space it to however you want, like this, and then you can make it clickable. So what we will do next is that's the same thing for that, and it's generally standard when you want to have your own clickable links on your banner and everything like that, and all of the links will be below in that regard. So anyways, we're going to move on. The background, this is the big thing. If you want to give your background a super cool effect, we can make it transparent like this or leave it like this. What I generally recommend here is to customize the background how you prefer it. You can put a picture of something in there, you can paint over it, and you can use brush layers. So what we're going to do is we're going to use brush layers. This is what I do mostly. Like, I use my preset brush tools, and I use, let's say, shadow media brushes, or let's just go with something else, 20 large watercolor brushes. And then this is what I usually do. I usually select my color palette here to like either yellow, and then the black will be set to, let's say, gray. Gray like this, and then we go okay. And this is just what I do. You don't have to necessarily do this, but this gives your channel a cool look. What I usually do is I go for black on the bottom, because your background usually is generally black so that your layers will, or your background will flow properly. And so let's say you finish up your customization, and then you like it and you put it in however you want, and let's just say it looks really cool like this. Wow, it looks really good. And then you can mix and match colors with the specific brushes that you have, like this. Like, let's say if you are a female and then you like pink, you can customize it to pink like that. So we're gonna just zoom it out here, and then we're just gonna brush it on like this, and then let's say you want to have a nice pink color to it. And then there's also blue here. And then you can change the style of the brush as well if you want a different design. That's how you do it. This is generally how I design backgrounds, but you can also experiment with 3D layers. let's for example go into something that is 3D. So what we'll do is we are going to put in text here. Sorry, that's a random message that I got from one of my friends. And you can adjust this text to make it look 3D. So we're going to highlight this text, and then you'll click 3D. And then what will usually happen is that you can go text or 3D from layer. That's what you usually do. So you would apply the effects there. So let's go to 3D. Huh, usually something would happen there. Anyways, you would go to 3D. Oh, you have to make sure that it's selected entirely. You can't just use the text tool and highlight it like this. You have to make sure that the selected layer is active. So you click this arrow so that it selects this. We'll just delete this. You have to make sure that the text change this layer is highlighted, and then you can go to 3D and then repose text layer. And then it'll give you the message saying this text layer must be rasterized before proceeding. Its text will no longer be editable. Rasterize the text, you would usually go to yes to have that done, and then what it'll do is it'll bring up your 3D modeling options. Now, depending on the performance of your computer, this may not work for you, and it only happens in the CS 5.5 Extended Edition. This is what I have, Photoshop CS 5.5 Extended Edition. So if you have a lot of RAM and you have a good graphics card, then you'll be able to change it however you want. So we got our repose here, and then we have our text in 3D orientation. So we can turn it however we want. We can change the orientation of it, like the axis. I mean, we can do anything with this. So we can select the presets here to however we want, and then it'll go by the preset. So let's say you wanted to give your text a really super cool 3D look, and then it can happen. This can happen. You have to make sure that you're not running a lot of processes when you're setting 3D, because this takes a lot of processing power and a lot of performance on your computer. So please make sure that you have the proper performance specifications to your computer so that you can allow yourself to do that. And mine's a little slow because I'm also screen capturing this at the same time. So that is generally how you set your text to 3D. It's a little slow, but it gets the job done. So I would generally recommend doing this if you just have the text only, so that you don't slow down your computer entirely. So let's say that you want to go through the shape presets, and it'll go to whatever you want. I have 8 gigs of RAM on this computer, and it's basically still processing the shape presets preview effect. So as you can see here, it changed according to what the preset offered. And you can set it like spherical, extrude. You can also set the materials here. Like I said before, the processing power takes a while so that you can set 3D text. Now, generally this is good if you want to make your background, that's a part of background, really stand out. So this is one of the easier ways of making 3D text instead of just layering layers and putting in shadows. And it's the slowest if you have a slow computer. Now, we're just going to see what happened here? Pretty cool. So we're going to cancel that so that we can return the layer back to its original state. Now this will take a little bit of processing speed. I do apologize for this. We're going to cancel this anytime now. As you can see, there we go. So we've canceled that and we've returned back to our original 2D. But that's how you can set 3D on your text if you want to do that. Personally, not me yet. So anyways, we're going to move on. Now, this is our background. Well, this is my background currently. Doesn't that look pretty cool? I mean, I could change the colors around if I wanted to, where I can set it back to yellow, okay, and then go back to the paintbrush, and then well, you have to make sure that all your layers are selected. So then what I would do is I would make all my layers yellow again, and blah 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 like that, and then set it to black, blackity blackity, like that. That's how I would make my, let's just say this would be my design for my channel. It's a grunge look mixed with some black spray paint. Now this is just for me. It's all a matter of your preference of how you want a background. No, I don't want that. So what you do is you go back and forth and pick the design that you want here, to make it really stand out and make it your own. So that's how you generally do it. You just experiment with whatever you want and then make it your own. And most people don't have Photoshop, and that's not a bad thing. What I basically did here was just did paint splotches and paint brushing effects and customizing your own text. This template is really good for that because it already sets everything up for you so that you can enter your text, put in your social media icons, and just customize the background however you want, which is really amazing. So what you can also do is you can put in custom effects. So you can put a color overlay on here to make it really stand out. Let's say if we want to make it yellow again, and then we click OK. It gives you the freedom to customize however. And then you can add a glow, an inner shadow. You can emboss it, put a pattern here, texture. You can contour it. I mean, doesn't that look really good right now? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's crazy sauce. Anyways. But yeah, you can customize it however you want, and it's all up to your imagination when it comes to it. And this template is really good for it. Now, I know this isn't a really thorough tutorial because most of the people that are on Photoshop know how to do this already. But this is a general outline of how to make a YouTube background with the proper template. And this template I'll leave in the description as a downloadable link. And it will expire. I have no doubt in my mind that after this video is posted and the link is there, it'll probably be active for only a few months. So if you put a comment in saying the link doesn't work, send me a private message with your email address so that I can email you the file, and then you can get started there. But you have to make sure that you have Photoshop CS 5.5 or CS5 or CS6 or any Photoshop for that matter. And you can also have the GIMP shop or Paint.net, or I don't think Paint.net will accept PSD files, so that probably won't work. So that's generally how you do it. You just merge your layers, and then you go to File, Save As, and then let's go to Save As right now, and then we're going to save it as a JPEG, and then it'll automatically be saved as a background, and then you can go Custom BG. So then you have to make sure that your file is under a megabyte so that you can allow your upload to go through your background. So you click OK there, and then what we'll do is we're going to go back to our background here. We're going to set our background on our channel. This is my main channel that I am just showing you right now. So anyways, let's just say we are done our background and then we want to put it on. So you go to channel settings, and then after you go to channel settings, you go to background, and then you go to remove or choose file, and then oops, sorry about that. And then what you do is you choose custom BG or whatever name that you have for it, and then it'll upload the background onto your YouTube page. And then you have to make sure that your background is set to black so that it will cascade down properly. So it'll appear in the template preview once you're done. See? There's your background right there. And it's the right size, it's the right scale. It looks really good. Really, really good. And then that's how you do it necessarily. You put your background on, then you're done. That's pretty much a given step on how to put in your own background. This is a background that I made recently for my new channel layout. So that is how you do it. And if you have any more questions, feel free to leave a comment below. If the file is missing or inactive, please private message me so that I can email you the template to use for your own background creation. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial. Get fueled for life, and I'll respond to you another time. See you later.